really focused on the relevance of remaining, or rather the challenge of remaining relevant as one gets older. A lot of your films are Absent Power, True Crime, The Rookie, all that stuff. It seems like a really interesting theme that the doc doesn't explore, and I was just wondering if you had any comment on the theme that sort of defines your later period films. What? There's really interesting
with the camera. That was the old John Ford thing, and ask him a big, long question, and he might cut. Tell me again what the relevance is.
There's a really interesting theme that you've built in your films about remaining relevant as one gets older in any profession, and in things like True Crime and Absolute Power, as far back as Unforgiven, really, is where it starts, I think. And it's just a really interesting theme that runs through your films, and just wondering, nobody ever seems to really ask about it, so I just wondering, if you have any comments.
Well, I like to think there are different themes in every film. I don't know if there's an ongoing theme. Is that what you're suggesting?
There seems to be, even as far as Letters from the Iwo Jima, there's a real sense that people are struggling for control and respect as they get older, and it's not always a downhill or an easy battle. Brangelina, that sort of thing.
You know, it's a very subjective, that's a very difficult one for me to answer. I think it would be easier for somebody else to evaluate than it would be for myself, because I don't think of it in that way. I just think everything is, to me, is spontaneous. I see it. Unforgiven is probably an example of a script. I liked it right away, but I said, well, this is great, but I'd like to do this when I'm older. So I stuck it in the drawer for 10 years, and then took it out. And other projects had just come to me, Perfect World or whatever. They just sort of fall. And I have no real rhyme or reason. I wish I could give you some sort of intellectual thing that would be great, and maybe if this was a French cinema class, have to take something. But I'm not really the person to ask for that. I don't have any. If I start evaluating myself, I'm afraid I would be afraid that I would not be able to think intelligently about every project and the various meanings thereof.
I actually